Hello and welcome back to CONAN Exiles. This will be episode 3 of our little mini Can We Remove Our Bracelet guide series. And so far we have retrieved 2 of the 6 items required to create the keystone somewhere to remove our bracelet. We've been all the way up here to the Barrow King. We've taken him out, or rather Brownie the Second has taken him out, and we got the Diadem of the Giant Kings. Then we made our way all the way across to the east to the Palace of the Witch Queen and took her out as well and got the Mask of the Witch Queen. So we've now got 2 of the 6 items required. And today, as you can probably tell by my marker, we're at our next location, which, as we mentioned last time, we're going to go after the Star of the Champion, and then another one that's fairly easy to get but is a bit more sort of late game, because with these last ones, one of them is a bit of late to mid game and one's very early game part of it, which we'll do in its own episode because there's 4 different stages involved with that one, so that'll have its own episode. But where we are just now, as you can see, we are just here on the map, which is at the sinkhole, where we're going to hopefully get the Star of the Champion, and then we're going to make our way up north into the Frozen Hills and go to the Black Keep, hopefully take on the Kin Scourge and retrieve the Tears of 2 Races, which is another item that we need, which will then put us at 4 in total, providing things go well. And of course I've got Brownie the Second with me again. He's here chilling out. Now, where we are, you wouldn't normally have an elevator like this down into the sinkhole. You'd either have to normally parkour off the side if you're feeling brave, or make your way further along the river over here and come in through the arena, which is through a little bit of corruption, find a lot of undead creatures and skellies and what have you. It can be a little bit more of a battle to do. Or if you're playing your own server, or you're playing a community server as this one is, you can pop a elevator in, which will take you down to the bottom. So if I just come out of that, make sure that we're good there, and if I get Brownie to follow, yeah, it might look like he's not going to fit on the elevator very well. He's got all his buffs on, he's got his food. Yep, he's ready to go. So we're going to make our way down into the arena, ready to take on the dragon. So we're going to head down the elevator, and I shall bring you back at the bottom of the sinkhole. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay then, so here we are down in the bottom of the sinkhole. Brownie's here with me. I've got my little glow stick on so that you guys can hopefully see a little bit better. And if I pan the camera around, that's the elevator where we came down, and as you can see in the centre there, there's a great big dragon, and that is who we need to defeat. But a good little idea, whenever you come in here first, you don't want to go through there, it would always be a good idea to work your way around the outside and get rid of some of these skellies first, just so they don't kind of get in your way when it comes to the actual fight, because they, especially if they're archers, they could start shooting at you. Get that guy while you're out there in the centre trying to take on the dragon. So just work your way around. Boom. All you need to do is just work your way around the outside like this. Oh hello. You might find this guy in here as well if you get lucky. The old blood crystal golem. Not such a problem to really take out again, as you can see. Pretty low health, and if you've got a decent human follower with your Brownie the Bear, just like we've got. You pretty much make short work of these guys and you can hack them up. And as you'll see, you get some blood crystal from them. Sounds like there's a sandstorm blowing over at the moment, so be wary of that as well. I think you are sheltered down here from it, although it doesn't say that we are. So just be mindful that the sandstorm could start hurting you. If it does, just pop your sandstorm mask on. So if you were coming in from the arena, you're coming through the corruption there.
Behold the sands of the arena, Bonded One. Here, the games of mortality are played beneath the sun and the moon.
Get that guy.
Hustling to our slave. Once, we set a group to fight one another. They sat in the sand and refused to fight, even though they knew that our retribution would be swift and merciless.
Get that guy.
Another time, one of them fought and killed a dragon single-handedly. You are spared the fighting slave. Your job will be cleaning up what is left after the battle.
Oh, we'll clean up what's left after the battle, don't you worry. So yeah, as you can see, 3-skull boss, nice big undead dragon. So what we're going to do is get close enough. And we're going to send Brownie in. Let him take the aggro at least, hopefully. Need that still? Yeah, it just gives you a little bit more light, doesn't it? As you can see, big 3-skull boss. Can't get his bar to show up for some reason. Oh, there we go, it's there at the front. Already down to half health already. Oh! Just as dragons do, the big tail swipe, of course. This guy does breathe fire, I don't know how, when he's basically an undead, but you know. That's the way the game works. Brownie's making pretty good work of him there, he's barely taking any damage off him. Dragon's almost dead. Let's give him a little hand. Down he goes. And yeah, of course, Brownie's barely taking any damage. So, you see he's got some little bits and pieces on him. You can always take those if you want them. But if you take a tool, chop him up. As we can see, you get some bone, dragon horn. But that's what we're after. Star of the Champion. So that is the third of 6 pieces that we need. So Brownie's done alright there, he's healing up nicely. Did really good. Nice easy fight for him. Right, I'm going to make my way back up in the elevator. And then we'll get ourselves ready to move on to the next bit, which is going to be up in the snow, but there's a couple of things we're going to have to do first to prepare for this, so I'll bring you back when we're back on the surface. Okay, see you soon. Okay, well, welcome back. We're back up here, back on the surface again, just above the sinkhole. Made it out, Brownie's all nice and healed up. So, on to the next location, which as I say is a little bit higher level in game for you, because you'll need some good clothing to get you a little bit warmer when you go up in the snow, because believe it or not, it gets quite cold up there. And ideally you want to have some sort of spiced food with you, so spiced haunch or spiced steak, which you can make very easily on your stove when you've got the recipes for them. Nice and easy to do. All you need is to make your spiced steak is literally some of your meat that you would use to make your grilled steak normally, but you take some of that along with salt, and you can then make your spice steak, or if you prefer the spice tolerance, you can do that on your cooking stove, like I say, so it's nice and easy to do. And another couple of things you can do, we don't have it at the moment, but there is a shield you can get called the Soul Spiel or Soul Spell, which is a sort of white looking shield that while you're holding it in your hand, it will give you cold protection, which means you could literally run up there with no armour and nothing else on, with purely that in your hand and be okay. Quite why you would do that, I don't know, but anyway. Another thing you could do is there's a couple of really good armour sets you could use. One of them we can't use yet because we haven't learned the recipes, but that would be the Redeemed Silent Legion or the Silent Legion armour, certainly the Heavy Silent Legion, or the Redeemed Legion, which is the better version of Silent Legion. But we can't use that yet because we haven't learnt that yet. So, if you're going up there for the first time, but you've been and done the Warmaker's Dungeon, then one set of armour you could use, which, big clue because you can see what I'm wearing, those who know Conan. This is the Champion's armour. Just a very basic version of this, it's not even crafted by a tier 4, but if you make sure that you craft it with a tier 4 Shieldwright Armourer, as you'll see, gives you different stamina and health bonuses and a bit of strength, but also you notice the cold protection there. This is a bit lower on these stats, as I say, because this is a spawned in set just to show you, but if you crafted this with your tier 4 Shieldwright Armourer on your sort of level 60 benches, if you will, or your higher tier improved benches, you'll get a good level of cold protection. This Champion's Armor is actually one of, as it stands at the moment, if not the best cold protection armor. It'll help keep you nice and warm while you're up in the snow. There are others that you could use that are only a medium armor as well, and others you could get hold of. If you have a look through them, you'll see some different ones, but this is probably one of your better heavy options. Of course, you've got the helmet as well, which I'm not wearing at the moment till we get up there. But right, we're going to get ourselves sorted out, get ourselves some spicy food, and we're going to make our way up to the Bridge of the Betrayer and then up into the Black Keep, and we will meet you up there in just a minute. Okay, see ya very soon. Okay, well, welcome back. As you can see, we're in a very cold frozen north. We've just come up through the highlands back there, as you can see, crossed over the bridge through the coldest part of the bridge, and we're just running along here. And if you make your way down the bridge here, you'll be met by these two guys at the end. So we'll get Brownie to go and hopefully deal with them. We'll help him out a little bit, not that he needs it, but boom. As you'll see in the top left there, we are cold. So if we eat a piece of our spice steak, as you can now see, we're healing up again and we're nice and warm now. We're warming up. This would have worked slightly better obviously if it was an actual fully crafted set, but this was just for the example to show you. If you're coming up here for the first time, make sure that you interact with your obelisk so that when you come up here next time you can travel from a map room up to your obelisk, which is there, and then you're pretty much going to follow these stairs all the way up to the very top, and then up to the right is where you're going to go. You're going to make your way in. So I'm going to make my way up there now, and I'm going to make my way through the dungeon, because we're not going to do the whole dungeon in this guide because it would just make this video go on too long, because we're just trying to get hold of the items and show you where you get them from. It's not really an actual full dungeon guide. So I shall make my way in there with Brownie, make my way through the dungeon, and I shall meet you at the end when we're hopefully ready to take on the Kinscourge and get the Tears of 2 races. Alright, see you very, very soon. Okay, so here we are, we've fought our way through the dungeon, we've made our way towards the end, almost ready for the last room and to take on the Kin Scourge. If you would like to see a guide on this dungeon, do let me know in the comments down below and show your support by leaving a like on this video as well. That way I know people would be interested, and if you like, I'll do a guide on it where we walk through it together, show you how it looks and the way to go and other bits and pieces to look out for on the way and things to be aware of, so let me know. But as I say, we are here at the very end. All we have to do now is take on the Kin Scourge, defeat him, which with a beast of a bear like this, or a Delancia or a Sumerian Berserker, or Leon if you prefer Leon, or even Freya, even Leonil can do it as an entertainer. Well, not, yeah, Freya the companion, I mean, or even Dina Master Huntress now, who we've got, who's pretty much the twin of Freya. You could easily do this. Bit more of a challenge because they're getting up here with the ice and the cold, like I say, but more of an end game one. This is why we've done this one the way we have. Sinkhole is one of the easier ones. Still a bit of a tough fight, but easier because it's mid-game. This is more towards the end. So what you would want to do is make your way up to this room here, and as you see him there, look, there he is. Go Brownie. There's the Kin Scourge. Very slow. Does his special attacks, which could hurt if you're not careful. I am cloaked and using God mode just for these videos, by the way, just so people know. Just to speed things up and help them be a bit more efficient. But look at the way Brownie's making such short work of him. Taking barely any damage from him. Boom. Let's do a couple of hits, get some sunder on him. Come on, Brownie. Gotta watch when he swings that sword because he can hurt you as a player. Especially when he charges up those special attacks, you want to be wary of those. He's not too tough, he's one of the easier bosses. Bit intimidating and a bit frightening first time when you first see him, but he's really not that bad compared to like say the arena champion, who's pretty easy as well now to how she used to be. Probably the worst boss in the game would be Thag at the end of the volcano dungeon, the Molluscalis, which will be the very last one that we have to do. But oh no, not the volcano one. Thag obviously is the wine cellar boss, I mean, whereas the dungeon we'll have to do is the one in the volcano, which is probably the most dangerous area to get to again. And you'll have to take on the boss there if he spawns. If he doesn't spawn, you've got to run away up the path and then run back in. Come on, Brownie. There we go. Good boy. Move over there. Alright, and then what you want to do, if you look at his inventory and you don't see it, again, take your pick, or hatchet, whatever you're going to use. Ideally a pick, and what you're looking for is that there, Tears of Two Races, and that is your next item that you need to move your bracelet. The Heart of the Kin Scourge, which you get there, is an item needed to craft the two swords that you can learn from in here. And that is the Tellus Sorrow, which is a big two-handed sword, which I believe was the sword he was using. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And also Tellus Lament, which is a little one-handed sword as well. And just while we're here, where he was stood, if you interact with this tablet here, that will teach you all of the recipes. Now at one time you had to interact with this recipe, and there was a little one on either side of the room here and at the back, and I'm not going to go into them now because we're not here for those. But again, either side of the room at the back, there's a statue on that side and a statue on that side, and either side of those are two legendary chests. So if you've got skeleton keys, make sure you bring them with you because you'll have 4 to empty back there. But that is where we get Tears of Two Races from. So we've got that and the Star of the Champion now, so that is our next two on our journey, which means it's 4 down, 2 to go. So we're going to get out of here, and I'll meet you back somewhere a bit nicer than this. Okay then, well there we go. That is another 2 items retrieved. So we've now got the Star of the Champion, the Tears of 2 Races, Mask of the Witch Queen, and the Diadem of the Giant Kings. Just excuse all the people going into the bar while we're talking. How rude. But yes, we've now got those, which means we are 4 pieces down, 2 to go. And the remaining ones are, one of them, again, is fairly tough to get because it's in quite a dangerous location. You've got to go all the way up north again, get yourself into the volcano, and then fight your way through the volcano down to the Well of Skelos, and then even get into the Well of Skelos dungeon, complete that dungeon, and then hopefully, if the boss is working correctly, kill him. And you've got to make sure you kill him so that you get the kill, especially if you're doing the journey. Chop him up and get the Shining Trapezahedron. Yeah, try saying that one a few times fast. You'll get that from him. And the other one isn't so much as dangerous as all of these to get, but there is a little bit of danger involved with them, but it just takes a little more work because it comes in 3 pieces. Excuse all the giggles in the background. Part of it you'll get from the giant croc in the little cave pretty early game, which you'll find, and you'll do that pretty early on. It's a big 3-skulled croc, but it's dead easy to kill, even fairly early on. A lot of other little crocodiles to deal with, but we'll go do that as well. The second part of the journey with it is a little bit tougher because again it's kind of up in the highlands area where you've got to go into a dark cave and deal with a... It's not a scorpion, it's a... What's she called? The big... Sand Reaper, like a Sand Reaper type creature, to get another part of it. And then for the third stage you've got to go up here to Buccaneer Bay and go onto the big pirate ship in the middle, fight your way up all of that and kill somebody at the top to get the third piece. And then when you've got all 3 of those, you've then got to make your way back down here, roundabouts, somewhere around here, and go and talk to a rather crazy NPC in the Sandswept Ruins. Give him those 3 pieces and he'll then turn them into the Heart of the Sands, which is then your final piece. And as I say, that's an episode in itself because there's a lot of work and a lot of travelling around involved with that one, so that's a little bit more involved. But then that should mean then, if you completed both of those, that you have all the pieces required, and then you have to take them somewhere. But we're not going to look at that now. We'll look at that once we've got all the final pieces. So once again, if you did enjoy this one, if you found it remotely helpful or useful or even just entertaining, do let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like. Why not consider subscribing if you haven't already? Lots of new videos hopefully to come in the future. We also stream on a Friday for 2 hours, 7 PM to 9 PM UK time. Do come and join us and say hello. Great to see new people. You're always welcome. We have a few other members of the community that join me, and we do a bit of a fun stream, bit of a role play style stream at the moment that I think people would enjoy. And yeah, lots of new stuff to hopefully come. So that's it for this one. Till I see you in the next one, where we'll hopefully be sober enough. Till the next one, guys, take it easy. Bye bye for now.